So on this channel, we talk a lot about attachment styles. And in today's video specifically, I want to take you through the dismissive avoidant attachment style and fearful avoidant attachment style relationship dynamic. And particularly, I want to cover the major needs each of these styles has along with the major love languages. Because if you've ever been familiar with the work of Dr. Gary Chapman and the five love languages, what you'll see is that we give and receive love through our own love languages. So we'll talk about what that is, but I want to really iterate here today that it's not just love languages that sort of create this filter that we give and receive love through. It is also our needs. And there are needs that are unique and specific to each attachment style. And when we can understand one another's needs in a relationship dynamic, we are empowered to be able to give and to receive love in a way that works for each of us and helps close the gaps between our different attachment style challenges. So, first and foremost, if you are not familiar, there are four major attachment styles. There's a securely attached style, which tends to statistically do the best in relationships long term. And then we have three insecure styles: the anxious preoccupied, the dismissive avoidant, and the fearful avoidant. And when you unpack this dynamic of the fearful avoidant and dismissive avoidant, what you will see is that each style has very unique love languages and very unique needs. Our anxious attachment style tends to be the most needy and clingy in relationships because they have abandonment wounds. And then our dismissive avoidant tends to be the most commitment fearing and distancing. And then our fearful avoidant tends to kind of be hot and cold. They almost have a combination of the anxious and avoidant side, but they really have a lot of kind of trust wounds and hypervigilance on top of that. So, the fearful avoidant and dismissive avoidant, when they enter into relationship together, when we look at our attachment style and how it functions, I always give the analogy of our attachment style as being like essentially a subconscious set of rules for how we give and receive love and what to expect from a relationship. And when we have a different attachment style, it's literally like having a different rule book for a board game, and yet we're trying to play that same board game together. So I want you to imagine that like you sit down to play a board game with somebody and they have the rules for Scrabble and you have the rules for Monopoly. Like it's just going to be confusing and chaotic. And so when we look at how we give and receive love, when we look at the work of the five love languages, if you're not already familiar with those, they are quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. And fearful avoidance and dismissive avoidance have different orders and hierarchies for how they want to give and receive love. So fearful avoidance tend to really value quality time and physical touch the most. And then words of affirmation would be a close third, followed by acts of service, which are sort of things like bringing somebody a coffee in the morning, driving them to the airport, cooking them dinner. And then gifts is pretty self explanatory. And when we look at dismissive avoidance, they tend to have a different order. So it's much more common for dismissive avoidance to have higher love languages around acts of service, and then things like gifts or words of affirmation, kind of in smaller ways. And then, sort of towards the bottom of the totem pole is quality time and then physical touch. And part of the reason for this for a lot of dismissive avoidance is they are wanting vulnerability even less than the fearful avoidant. And so they will tend to give and receive love in ways that are less vulnerable. And you can sort of see it, right? Like quality time is very vulnerable. Physical touch is very intimate, right? And then we have, acts of service like bringing a coffee or cooking dinner, and it's still a beautiful act of love, but it's a little bit less vulnerable. It's a little more indirect. And that's where we'll see dismissive avoidance tend to be. Now, the big point I want you to know here is that that's not the only way that we give and receive love. We give and receive love through our unique attachment needs. And when it comes to our unique attachment needs, the fearful avoidant attachment style tends to have really powerful needs that are structured around depth, novelty. And really, when I say depth, I mean like depth of connection, right? They want transparency. They want to know everything about a person. And they also tend to want novelty and exploration in their relationships. And they want to be wanted and valued by their partner. And they also want a certain degree of like trust and safety in there that tends to be really pertinent to the relationship. And on the flip side, a dismissive avoidant attachment style, they tend to, in a relationship, want a lot of empathy. They want support. They want acceptance from their partner. They want to feel safe, like they can have their independence and autonomy, which fearful avoidance also tend to really care about as well. But these needs are unique. And sometimes what we do when we get into relationships with other people is we try to give them love through our needs. And, I can give an example of this. I remember when I was going through my own personal growth journey at the very beginning, I wanted to give everybody personal growth books as gifts, personal growth books or tickets to seminars or webinars or, trying to like get everybody growing because it was so powerful for me. And sometimes I would feel like the people around me didn't read the book, didn't go to the seminars. And I would be like, oh my gosh, like how do they not want to go to these things? And I would feel confused about it. And then as time went on, I learned that like not everybody has a really high need for personal growth. And that was my experience. And it's so easy for us to project from our perception. It's so easy for us to give love as we would need love. But there's a big difference between loving somebody through our needs and our love languages versus learning to tap into their needs and their love languages and be able to grow ourselves to access more of those aspects as well, because we're not supposed to have the exact same needs as somebody and the exact same love languages to make a relationship work. In fact, one of the major purposes of a relationship is to help us grow into deeper aspects of ourselves. And through understanding somebody else's way of giving and receiving love and tapping into that, we actually allow those parts of ourselves to open up and to thrive. And we learn to experience more of ourselves in that process. So, if you are not familiar with what your needs are and you want to do a deeper dive into needs, you can check out our Discover, Embrace, and Fulfill Your Personal Needs course. It's all about how to understand your needs, how to build a healthy relationship to them yourself. And you can check it out for free for 7 days. And it will also help you be empowered to communicate your needs to others and also identify the roadmap of other individuals' needs in your life so you can love them as they are and not just only as you are. So you can check that all out for free for 7 days. It's actually one of my favorite courses at PDS. It gives you like a big roadmap and sort of framework to really thrive in that arena. And so again, you can check it out fully free. I'll put the link down below. And you can also take our free attachment style quiz that will give you a free report about some of your attachment style needs as well. And I'll put that link down below there too. And also, I'm really excited to share with you that we've actually been working on an app for quite some time, and we're going to be launching that as well. So if you want to come in, check out our new app that we have to take all of your PDS courses from and all the new exciting features and benefits in there, check it out. That will also be included when you click the link down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and for watching. Please consider subscribing to this channel, joining the community if you're enjoying this. And if you want more content about the fearful, avoidant, dismissive, avoidant relationship dynamic, hit the thumbs up button. I'll stay tuned and see if this gets a lot of votes, and we'll create more content accordingly. Thank you for stopping by.